I think we can all agree that that is a great kickstart to our season, and we'll continue to do that until it fails to do that. So this year, our varsity record was 14-5, and it's 14-6 if you include the playoffs, but I'm going to try to forget that game. And it was 9-3 in the conference. Our notable wins were winning the tri-match against Upper Dublin in 5 and Christopher Dock in 4, winning against Abington on 9/11. Those were both playoff teams that went into the second round of the district playoffs. Our record at home was a very respectable 9-2, and away we were 5-3. Our most disappointing loss, I would have to say, is CB South, but we'll forget about that as well. The team we lost to in the playoffs, which was Westchester Ruston, they went on to, they were actually a pretty good team. They went on to take a game from Perkiomen Valley, and then Perkiomen Valley went on and beat CB East easily in 3 games. So sometimes the playoffs are a little bit skewed based on how they figure out the seeding. But next year we're going to be redistrict, so we're going to have a little bit more tougher competition. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. We started off pretty strong. We were undefeated in 6 games, then we hit a nasty 3-day, 3 away game stretch against strong playoff teams. We did recover nicely after winning our next 7 in a row, and then winning one of our last 3. It was a season of trends and momentum, and we teach the girls a lot about maintaining momentum and what it means in volleyball. It's very big in volleyball. We made the playoffs for the 5th straight year. We were ranked number 13. However, we did come up against a pretty tough team in the playoffs. Making playoffs is always one of our goals, but winning in the playoffs now will be our newest goal. So, now on to the statistics for the season. So, the following statistics include regular season, the tournaments, and the playoff game. We played a total of 27 matches. We won 18 and lost 9. We played a total of 82 sets. We won 55 and lost 27. We had a .670 winning percentage. That is good. We played a total of 3,398 points. We won 1,836 and lost 1,562. So we outscored our opponents at a rate of 1.17 to 1. And yes, that is good too. So for every point they scored, we scored almost 1.2 points. It's a good winning combination. When we won the set, our average score in winning was 24.8 to 16.5. When we lost, we had 17.3 on average to their 24.2. And the reason it's less than 25 is because some of the games were at the 5 and we lost won in the 5th. One in the 5th set, only going to 15. We made overall 9,000 attempts or touches or hits on the ball and earned 1,110 total points. Hope you have your copy. The person with the most attempts on the ball, most touches on the ball was, yeah, it was Kayla. She had 2,689 touches on the ball. Julia was second with 1,311. Kaylee was third with 1,170, and Sophia was fourth with just over 1,007. The most earned points for our team, the most earned points. Sophia with 330 earned points, or 30% of our overall point production. Second was Katie with 204 points, which is 18%. And third was Julia with 181 points, or 16%. Rounding out would be Kayla, April, and Deanna, and the next 3. So. Unforced errors. We always like to keep track of unforced errors. It was a tight battle this year for the leader in unforced errors, but Sophia gets it. Just beating out Julia, 183 to 182. Tight match.
Number 2.
Kayla was third with 151, and Katie was fourth with 136. The lowest error percentage, meaning that those that made the fewest errors per touch on the ball, were Kayla with 6%, Kaylee with 9%, and Julia and Katie each had 14%. Basically what this means is you have to touch the ball, or be willing to touch the ball and take some risks when touching the ball. Without taking risks, we will not be able to grow or move on and become better. Failing is a part of success, and I read this every year. I often quote Michael Jordan. He missed more than 9,000 shots in his career. He lost almost 300 games, and 26 times he missed the game-winning shot. He failed over and over again in his life, but that is why he succeeded. So you have to be willing to fail to succeed. That was deep. Okay. Side out percentage. So side out percentage means that whenever the other team has the serve and we win that point, we sided them out, basically. So the side out percentage is the number of points earned in serve received divided by the number of times the opponent served against us. Our goal is always to be over 50%. If that's the case, we typically will win the game. Our average this year is 53.6%, which is why our record was so good. In the games we won, we were 60% side-out percentage. In the games we lost, we were at 45%. There were 2 games that we lost where our side-out percentage was above 50%. And that was the first East game and the South game. It's typically games that go to 5 and, they can be close to 50% tight games. That basically means those were very winnable games, and 2 games that if we would have won, we'd probably be celebrating the conference championships tonight too, but maybe next year. We made 495 substitutions this year, and leading the subs was Sophie. We swapped our libero, Kaylee, in and out of the game 583 times. We played a total of 40 hours of volleyball this year. Our leader in playing time played 36 hours and 18 minutes, which was Kayla. Most of this time running around and chasing balls, right? We took 54 timeouts over 82 sets. The average score during our first timeout was, we were down 10.2 to 12.7, and the average score when we took our second timeout was, we were down 15.9 to 20. All right, so enough of that. So on to serving skills set. Serving. So team serving, our goal is to be
Above
88% plus and above 30 miles an hour. We typically track this once a week during the season. We will get the radar guns out, make sure that we're keeping the speed up and then keeping our accuracy up as well. So then we give instant feedback to the girls when they serve so they know whether or not they need to speed up their arms or work on their accuracy or even take a little bit off of the speed if they need to. This year our serving in percentage was 87.1, which is just below our goal, but pretty good. For girls that served more than 15 times, the highest serving in percentage was, I guess it's Kaylee. Kaylee was 94.7% of serves in. Julie was second. Number 2 with 94%, and Katie was third with 91.8%. We also track how difficult or how tough we serve. So that means we will give a score to every time someone serves the ball. We give a score of a 4 for an ace, a 3 for a serve that results in a ball that they just pass right back over the net to us. We give a score of 2 if the service results in them being out of system, so they can't really run their middles or their outsides easily. And we give a score of 1 if they're in system. And we give a score of 0 if we make an error. So this is important to know that we track both this and our serving in percentage. So the highest you can get on both of those combinations is really a good serving person. And we will often look at those stats and try to determine our servers. So the leader in serving difficulty, I'll call it, was Sophia with an average score of 1.9. Tenley was second with 1.79. Kayla was third with 1.75, and Jen was fourth with 1.70. These are all good scores for serving. Aces, we had a total of 242 aces. The leader was Sophia with 73. Kayla was second with 47. Katie third with 32, and Jen fourth with 26. Most of those coming to the North Penn. Good memory. Kills. We had 721 kills. The leader in kills was Sophia. That wasn't Jen, sorry. Was Sophia with 204 kills. That's 20%, 28% of the total. Second was not Kaylee. Katie Hudson with 159, which is 22% of the total, and Julia was third with 144, or 20% of the total. Hitting percentage. Hitting percentage basically tracks how efficient you are at hitting. So basically it tracks your kills. So it takes this ratio. It takes your kills minus your errors and divides that by your attempts. So obviously a positive is a good thing. Typically in high school you would see anywhere from a 0.2 to a 0.3 is a good hitting percentage. In college, above 0.3 is a good hitting percentage. So our team average was 1.98, which is not too bad. And typically you would see if you have an attacking type setter, your setter would lead in killing efficiency. And Kayla led with 361, which she should. That's expected. But the non-setters, the leaders in hitting percentage were, they were paying attention. Not Kaylee. Sophia with a .278, Katie with a .218, and April with a .193. Okay, so passing, off of serve receive. We score our passing. A score of 3 if it's a perfect pass, a score of 2 if it's a pass that we can set either our outside hitters but maybe can't set our middle hitter. And a score of 1 if it's basically somewhere that our setter can get to it and put a ball up, and a score of 0 if it's an error. Our goal is to pass an average of close to 2.0. We missed that by a little bit this year. We were passing at a score of 1.67. So I think this will be a big area of focus on our next GMS camp. We'll be passing. The leaders in passing were Kaylee, which is a 2.07. It's a good score. Followed by Julia at a 1.62. So blocking. We had a total of 101 blocks. And the leader in blocks was Sophia. She had 53. Second was what? Deanna. She had 29. And third was Julia. 17. Assists. We had a total of 716 assists this year. Our leader was Kayla. And second was Kaylee with 29. Digs. Total digs we had a total of 1,232 digs. Leaders were Kaylee with 308, Julia with 234, and Kayla with 194. So that rounds out the stats for the year. One thing that if anyone ever needs stats for their daughter, just email me. I can send you their specific stats for the season in a PDF file if you want to see that. More than welcome to it. Okay, now we're going to be bringing up the varsity folks. For their letters and their awards. So first up, we'll start the bottom, work our way to the top, so the youngest to the oldest. So Mackenzie is first.
So, as a freshman, it's always hard to come in and step onto a varsity level playing court. We think you just handled that with a great deal of poise. You found your way into just enfolding into the team and just added a great contribution. Always looking to learn and grow and continuing to work hard throughout the season. We're grateful for everything that you contributed this year. You first year letter winner. Congratulations.
Next up is Casey. So Casey was a girl that always had something to offer. Right? When we had either our team meetings, she would always speak up, which is good to hear from a sophomore. She kept up great with the pace of play this year. Thought it benefited her a lot. I thought she improved immensely this year. And it's fun to see how she improved, and it'll be fun to see how she progresses through club. So looking forward to that. Thanks. First year letter winner. Next up is Tenley.
All right. So, threw you into a very difficult situation. As something that we needed incredibly much. We came in poised in a playoff match. Just came in and did what you needed to do, kept working hard despite situations, circumstances, whatever they might have been. We think you handled that incredibly well. We're grateful for the hard work you put in, just unfolding into the team and just doing such a great job. Your first year letter winner this year, congratulations.
Next up is Lauren. So Lauren is a very intense individual. She doesn't look it, and she doesn't sound it, but she's very intense. Always willing to try to improve herself. Always asking questions. She does a great job of really trying extremely hard. And it doesn't hurt to be tall, right? Her game basically continues to improve. This year we saw a big improvement, and we're looking forward to seeing how club season works out for you as well. So it's great having you on the team. Next is Katie.
So Katie plays varsity for her second year as a sophomore. Comes in with a very strong hitting hand. Comes up, plays incredibly well. You work hard. You're always looking for the opportunity to learn, grow, and continue to contribute to your team, both in your play and with the way you work with your teammates. We're incredibly grateful for that. We're thankful. And your second year letter winner. Thank you very much.
Next up is Maggie. Maggie is a person that does have a high passion level for volleyball. She's very intense about the game, and she sets a high standard for herself, which is a good example for the rest. She played a great defense against our hitters, for sure, making them work harder and become better. So that in and of itself is some things that people don't see, which we greatly appreciate. So Maggie is a first-year letter winner, so congratulations, Maggie. Next up is Kaylee. Miss Paul.
filled a void that we had. We needed good passers. Paige stepped in as our libero, worked hard, definitely know when to verbalize what she needed from her teammates. Anytime we needed conversation, Kaylee would definitely interject and help us bring the conversation along so that we could overcome certain things that we needed. She communicated well on the court. We'd like to see this a little bit more and can't wait for attention next year also.
Yeah.
Your second year ever.
Next up is April. April is one of those girls that always is smiling about something. We could be telling her the sky is falling. April came in showing probably one of the biggest improvements this year than what we've seen in the past years. And basically earned her spot right away on the team. She was an intense player. She brought a lot of energy to the court. Wish we could have got some action pictures of that, so we would put that in. But she just did a great job with that. Keep the energy level on the court is very important. And so you did a great job with that and your play this year. So thanks. Congratulations. You are a second-year letter winner. Next up is Dana.
So, obviously, by your megaphone, you're one of the quietest individuals on the team. However, we think that you continue to learn and grow, you observe well, try to incorporate those things as you go on and you play. We appreciate your hard work and everything you contribute. And for that, this year, Dana is a first-year medal winner.
Next up is Kayla. Yeah. So Kayla is a second-year captain this year. She did a nice job of running the offense. You're welcome. Hustling around to get to balls and putting up the hittable ball that people can get to. She has a bit of I don't know if you noticed, but she has a bit of an odd sense of humor and can be very theatrical. But she always likes to compete and always puts 100% into practice and into games. Well, 100+%, I would say. So Kayla is a third-year letter winner, so congratulations. Next up is Sophia.
Sophia is a second-year captain this year. By the stats that you've listened to, you can tell that Sophia leads the team in many ways. Her hard work, her determination, just the way she approaches the game. She's not satisfied with anything less than that upper plateau, and she won't give up until she gets to that point. She always wants to just contribute to her teammates and just does a great job, and we're just incredibly grateful for what you've done here. So thank you very much.
Next up is Julia. Whatever you need. Julia is the first-time captain this year. She's a little forward, right? A little on the crazy side. We rarely have control in huddles either. You can probably guess that. She is very meticulous about what she does. Right? I mean, oftentimes we'll see her collecting balls at the furthest points in the gym. But she did a great job this year. Basically, I thought showed up very big in big games, which is all that you can ask for, to lead our team in those type of games. So, had a great season, great time here, hopefully, as a senior. And congratulations, you're a third-year letter winner this year. Next up is Deanna.
What's in that guy?
As you can observe, Deanna may come across somewhat quiet. However, he definitely has an offbeat sense of humor. Deanna was always looking to contribute. She would always look to us for encouragement or to learn from what she needed to do. She was just one of those individuals who wouldn't be satisfied unless she was contributing to what her teammates wanted from her, or just there were points where you would come up with a big block or the perfect touch to an open spot. And those are things that spur your teammates on. Those are things that help your teammates to continue just compete. There were key times when you didn't have she did that. And you are essential to it.
Next up is Jen Martin. So Jen is another great personality type to have on our team. She's always easygoing. She will basically do whatever we ask her to do on the floor, and she very rarely pays attention. Oh, that's good. I'm kidding. She did a great job serving this year, obviously highlighted by the 19 points in a row that she served against North Carolina. We didn't really have the heart to tell her just to serve it out because we didn't know what to tell her. We just tell her just kept going. But no, she did a great job throughout the year serving and playing back row defense. So congratulations, Jen. You are a second-year letter winner. And last but not least, Sophie.
So Sophie came in as one of our defensive specialists. That takes a certain mindset. One that is not willing to be defeated, one that is willing to work through difficulties. Yeah, I know, you're already thinking of the basketball on the figure, aren't you?
That wasn't, but I would like to text
You're always good about listening to feedback and definitely incorporating it as quickly as possible. Learn and dig deep things. We're incredibly thankful for that.